Great things begin when there is a gathering of great minds. Good afternoon to all. Hope you all are safe or doing well. I would like to thank each one of you for taking out and joining us for today's webinar. I, Dr. Saeed Sajid Hussain, on behalf of Department of Commerce, Medicaf University, extend a warm welcome to all. Medicaf, a name that has been the pride and a brand in the arena of technical education since 2000, constantly aims at creating an ideal atmosphere for budding technocrats and managers, meanwhile pushing them to grow like true professionals. Metcalfe University, being a torchbearer in the domain of education, disseminates this fighting spirit amongst our students as well. Today, we all are standing tall and strong to fight this global pandemic. This session would definitely inculcate some new energy and motivation in all of us. What's the best way to see the change that brings part of it? So, as our country steps into the light of future, we are here to discuss the role of MSME in making Atmanirbhar Bharat. The MSME sector is called the growth engine of the nation, and it is the most dynamic industrial sector contributing significantly to the GDP. When coronavirus pandemic and the national-wide lockdown dispensed a grievous blow to the country's economy, is an attempt to restore it. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, announced the Atmanirbhar Abhiyan. How MSME will act as a backdrop to empower Prime Minister vision of self-reliant India. What is a significant role that MSME sector play in making Atmanirbhar Bharat? To answer these questions, we could not have asked for a better dignitary than Professor Rekha Acharya. I would like also welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.K. Sumani sir, Dean, Commerce and Management, Dr. Harish Bapar sir, HOD Management, Dr. A.K. Singh sir, HOD Commerce, Dr. Haldaram Sharma sir, Senior Faculty, Dr. Rashmi Sumani ma'am, Dr. Mukesh Purwal sir, Dr. Sunil Mishra sir, all respected deans, HODs, faculty colleagues, and dear students. Before we commence, let me explain how we will proceed for the guest lecture. Initially, I will invite our guest lecturer, Professor Rekha Acharya, and if you all have any query during the session, we will have question answer session at the end. We will share the link for the feedback at the end of the session on Zoom chat. Kindly fill the feedback form and you will get e-certificate via your respective mail IDs. Now, without further delay, I would like to invite Professor Rekha Acharya for sharing her views on today's topic. It is with great feeling of pride I welcome Professor Rekha Acharya, Dean and Head of School of Social Sciences, Head of School of Comparative Language and Culture, DAV Indore. Dr. Acharya believes in focusing on vision, value, and velocity. Ma'am has teaching and research record of more than 25 years in the area of business economics, microeconomics, research methodology, microfinance, and rural development. She is an eloquent public speaker and delivered several keynote addresses in various national and international events. Dr. Acharya has been awarded with Certificate of Honor on International Women's Day 2020 for leadership and management. Ma'am has published more than 40 research papers on varied Indian economic issues. It's our honor to have you here, ma'am. Ma'am, please.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone present over there. Um, Good afternoon, respected Professor VC, Mr. Somani, the organizers of Management Department as well as Commerce Department, the head of the department, Mr. Haldar Sharma, Mr. Saeed, and all other faculty members, those who have joined in this afternoon for understanding what the role of MSME in making Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'm very thankful to Medicaps University that has given me opportunity to share my some of the views I have been preparing all these days just after when pandemic has taken place, and it is very necessary also as a management institute or as a citizens of India. It is very important that we should organize such kind of discussions and at the same symposium or conferences on such burning issues whenever there is a any kind of policy changes taking place And as you all know that since 2014, when new government has taken up, since then it has been introducing very vibrant changes within the economy, starting from demonetization to GST. Then different jargons have been given, such as make in India, made in India. And then now at the time of pandemic, when entire world suffer and realized that their economy can only grow when their domestic economy is strong enough. So at that particular point, basically this uh, need or importance of this MSME is being realized, and uh, government has considered that if at all we want to grow up, if at all we want to sustain our development, and if at all we want to become a world leader, then the uh, basically the answer for that or solution for that is the MSME in making Atmanirbhar Bharat. Uh, Let me focus upon this concept first. The Atmanirbhar Bharat, where is the concept which explains you to become self-sustained, self-sufficient, and develop from your own resources. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is not a small concept, but it is basically the need of the hour. The government realized why it has realized this. The basic reason behind it, first, that when this pandemic has started, which is supposed to be said by the world that it has started from Wuhan, and later on it is spread into the entire world, and everyone has seen the problems that has occurred by this pandemic, not only the health aspect or not only the disasters in the economy, but all over the world is finding themselves into slowing down of the growth. At the same time, this growth in entire world has becoming negative. And if you talk about India, the even various researchers and various reports, different international reports and different studies have pointed out that India will also have recessionary phase, which is not the outcome of this pandemic only, but it has started much in 2016, and now before pandemic, say uh, up to 2019, it has gone down up to 4.1%, and now we are realizing that it will go further down and we will have negative growth of 3.2%. But in the economic scenario, we have also expected that there will be a V-shaped recovery of the economy, and any sector which can bring down this fast recovery is being taken as a MSME as one of the role. So that's why I have taken up this particular topic of the day, that if India at all is depending upon MSME, to what extent it can depend, number one. Second, whether making Atmanirbhar Bharat through MSME, does the MSME of India has that much capability to build itself as a major contributor for Atmanirbhar Bharat or not? And there are many other things and many issues and challenges which are prevailing in front of MSMEs. So let's have a look what MSME is in present situation, how the government is claiming that MSME can become or major contributor of the economic growth in coming years, and how it with the help of MSME, how it can become the world leader uh, or can sustain its own development. So please give me 1 minute to share my slide, and then we will do further discussion. Can you see my slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are discussing the role of MSME in making Atmanirbhar Bharat, and just give me 1 second to set this the screen. Well, when we say that we are thinking that MSME will become the base or the engine for further economic growth. Let us understand on what grounds we are saying and what is the current situation of Indian economy. As you know, all that presently Indian economy is having worth of its 3 trillion size, and it is aiming to become 5 trillion by 2021 at the rate of minimum. What is expected in this current budget is at 11% growth of the GDP. Presently we understand that it is 3.2%, but we are expecting that as since the economy is getting better and it is resuming, all economic activities are resuming, and at the same time lot of efforts are being put up from the government side in terms of the packages, in terms of the various schemes and various procedures. So we are expecting that this negative growth is a temporary phase, and very soon our economy will sustain in its original position, and soon it will have near about 11% of GDP growth. And also from past years, if you see the growth in terms of, we are targeting that we will become 5th largest economy in the world in terms of nominal GDP. That means the market value of the GDP will become will lead us to to become 5th largest economy in the world. What is the base for it? Because we are having huge forex reserve, like the firms and the trade partners all over the world, they want to become a partner with India, number one, and secondly they want to invest into India. And right now if we see the size of our forex reserve, that is very huge, and that is why that is the one of the basic that in this particular budget also, when government has targeted its physical deficit to be 6.8% of the total GDP, then it is because of that, because it is having that much flexibility in the resources, especially the financial resources, and it can take that much risk because it is having huge forex reserves. If you talk about the gold reserve, now the demand of the gold are increasing day by day. At the same time, government is bringing up different type of gold bonds, and at the same time lot many schemes are being also introduced where gold is become a medium of exchange. So we are having again very huge gold reserves also, at the same time SDRs also. Another edge point what gives is basically that India is enjoying demographic dividend. What is demographic dividend? When maximum percent of youth in your total population stands for. And if you see that near about 62.5% of our population is belonging to the youth, and when we talk about the youth, that is ranging from 20 years to 39 years of age. And out of that, if you see that 25% of this entire youth is ranging between 20 years to 29 years of 29 years, which is the actual energetic age, or which is actually, you can say, the youth which can really contribute higher in productivity, because the youth of this particular age has lot much potential, a lot much productivity capacity, and also they have very zeal to contribute into the society. So when such type of population you are having, where more young population are there, and if you compare India with other parts of the world, all parts of other countries, they are facing aging problem. That means their maximum population is getting older, And if you talk about in terms of China, China is facing huge this particular problem. So we are having and human resource, as you know, that human resource or human capital is one of the key factor for development, economic development, if you talk about, and which can contribute positively into its productivity if it is utilized properly. So again, in this budget also, the government has initiated lot many measures for youth also. At the same time, it has given much emphasis over all the three areas: the primary education, secondary education, and higher education, where it has it is trying to link. And even the new education policy is also saying that you better make your all type of courses which are skill oriented. So all these developments gives us sufficient reason that now the new India is targeting towards skilling India, better India for better future and sustained growth. Okay. If you see during the pandemic also, right now, if you see our top heroes are IT sector and pharmaceutical industries. At the time of pandemic also, you have seen that this pharmaceutical industry especially has taken a lead, where entire world was saying that we cannot manufacture PPE kit, and we cannot even manufacture ventilators and various other medical equipment required for corona treatment, along with this the even the vaccination. But the our pharmaceutical industry has done miracle. It has started preparing PPT kit. 5 lakh prepared PPT kit was used to be prepared within one day, a single day, and there was no supply crunch as far as this PPE kit or ventilators were concerned. At the same time, all these has could able to happen so fast because MSME, especially those who were there in pharmaceutical industries, they have joined hands with the large scale industries, and they have become literally the sister concern or intermediary study industry, and they joined hands with the large scale industries for the supply of the initial raw materials for making PPE kit and other things. So when we are, and second is IT industry, which is basically, if you talk about IT, especially mobile, and you know that prior to pandemic, near about 70% of our export, especially the mobile accessories and mobile, whatever is required, chips and all, China, we used to import it. Up to 70% we used to import from China, and we were very much dependent. But during this time, you must have seen that even in mobile accessories, our MSME has come down. So basically, during pandemic, IT and pharmaceutical industries were two industries which has not whose whose growth has accelerated. All other industries suffered drastically, but these two industries have not suffered. They have gained proper profits, right? Another, the third sector, which basically not affected by the pandemic, was agriculture sector. And this time, there was some blessing of the god, or what you say, that first time in India that agriculture sector have experienced positive growth, and that to 5% per annum, and that was bumper crop has taken place. And industries, they say that it is the agriculture which has saved Indian economy, and this is but obvious. And also the small scale industries which were indulged in agriculture sector, they have done lot of supply chain, and basically entire supply chain, especially when during the period of say 3 to 4 months when it has stopped, it was the farmers who have started supplying. So although it was at very low level, but at the same time, this agriculture sector has become biggest savior at the time of pandemic. So now, if you see, this particular diagram is showing you that we in 2021 till December we can have, and right now also in the first quarter of 2021 we are having 3.21% negative growth, but at the same time we are having sharp recovery, and this v-shaped recovery which we are expecting is due to the fast recovery that is taking place in our economy, especially from the rural market, especially from the the small startups which has started just now, at the same time who are joining their hands with the large sector industries. So entire economic activities have started resuming very fast, at very fast rate, and their rate, if you talk about that is near about somewhere 22% and more than that. So India do not have to worry as far as the economic recovery is concerned. And if I talk about the MSME, we have that why MSME is being considered as a base for Atmanirbhar Bharat. The base which our policymakers have taken, that during 17th century, India was largest exporters, and the more or less same situation we are facing nowadays. That time we used to export our handmade items, cotton, wood, jewelry, etc. And this time, if you will see, we are exporting handmade textiles basically. Not pure cotton, but textile, jute, and also a lot of demand of our handmade products are picking up. So again, this is giving us valid, uh, reason to believe that very soon, if the government provide continuous and proper support, MSME can become again a world leader, especially in terms of handmade products. Okay. And in present industrial scenario, if you talk about, as we all know that near about MSME is not only a second largest employment provider sector in the country, but also near about contributing 30% of its contribution into GDP. At the same time, with 45% in total exports of the country. And this total exports, when we talk about, it is the merchandise export. Merchandise export is that where the actually products are being exported. And so this is a very huge figure. Then if you talk about employment scenario, obviously near about it provides 124 million workers employment. And if you talk in terms of that, comes around say 45% in rural area and 55% in urban area. This is a huge, very huge figure. But the darker side of the MSME, which say that totally we have 63.4 million, industries, which are divided in micro industries, small industries, and medium industry. And if you can see that in micro industry, if we talk about near about 63.5 million, almost 99.5%, 0.5% industries are lying in micro. And that means micro industries are those which are basically produced at the household area, one, mostly located in rural area. And when I talk about household, that means all the house members are involved in that particular business activities, and they only run the business, for which they don't get any kind of social security, number one. Secondly, neither the wages, because it is their own family business which is run by themselves only. So if you talk about, if you are saying that, or if you are relying on MSME to become a base for economic engine, then and when such a huge percentage is lying in micro industry, then you need to chalk out a proper and concrete strategy so that this micro industry can be sustained. Because if you talk about small industries, that is very small in size, and medium enterprises only 5,000. Another, very crucial aspect, that out of this, 94% are not registered. Merely 6% registration. As you know, that government has started Udyog Aadhaar for MSME sector, and which is making nowadays mandatory, but mandatory for small industries and medium enterprises only. It is not targeting to the micro industry, which is huge in number. So if you are thinking that the Udyog Aadhaar registration should increase, then we have to think about that the registration of these micro industries also, whose business are not only in very tiny scale, but more or less that is not even the if you talk about the size wise, that is not that much huge that it can sustain on their own. So two things are required if you want to make if you're thinking about the growth with this micro industry, that you need to really re-innovate them, re-establish them, and re-stabilize them. uh, then if you see the social distribution, as we know that our rural India is mainly dominated by mainly with scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward areas. So this domination, if you talk about, you can see their contribution in basically MSME is very less, especially when you talk about scheduled tribes and scheduled caste. So in these area, all those industries which are located in these areas, they are not only tiny, but they don't have that much potential to exist on their own. If you talk about gender ratio, in MSME, we have 80% of enterprises are being owned by male. That means this male dominance. And recently, one report has been published that if you want to sustain economic development through micro, tiny, and small industries, then you have to increase the participation of female, which is just now 20%. And if you increase this percent by say 50%, okay, of female participation, then obviously the 27% growth can be expected in GDP. So suppose if you bring down the equity as far as this MSME MSME enterprises are concerned, if you increase the female participation into it up to 50%, obviously you can have 27% more growth in terms of your GDP. So what you are expecting 11%, it can lead to say near about say 15 or 18% of growth per year. So if you want to become a world leader, it is not only that you should increase the contribution of female into MSME sector, but make them entrepreneur also. This is the geographical distribution where 7 states are dominating, and uh, just like and this is also one significant fact now, that after this COVID period, which has hit our MSME drastically, government has started taking a lot of uh, efforts for revival of the MSME. It has not only announced many packages, but it has streamlined a complete set of policy. The major special packages which it has given on the basis of the corona pandemic, that during a corona pandemic, all MSME, the production in MSME were totally shut down, and which was in some area it was very crucial. And when the economic activity started opening up in the month of July, it was experienced by the government that these MSME do not have that much capacity, especially they don't have their working capital to sustain on their own. Understanding this need, government has focused on mainly started giving special financial package to MSME, and considered that if we have inward look policy, that means MSME can become a major contributor for not only economic growth or making for Atmanirbhar Bharat, but also can become one of the base for making all those products which are made in India. So made in India, make in India, and managed by India has become, these three M have become the benchmark for MSME, and government has started understanding the importance of MSME in the overall economic development. One, and second, it has thought that at all, if it wants to solve the problem of the young youth, okay, then again the MSME can be one of the area, because it is the highest employment generator into the economy. Then the employment problem which is prevailing now in among youth, and it is increasing day by day, that can also be solved with MSME. So ultimately, special packages were given. At the same time, make in India, made in India, and managed by India through MSME. This punch line has also been introduced by government. And basically, the gist was that slowly we will substitute our policy, which was till date, it was, we were understanding the, okay, import, now import from outside, make them here, and then sell it. Now this particular policy has been changed into import substitution, and now export led growth, right? So this particular shift is being taken up. Another a special package which has government announced, that collateral free assistance, because government has understood that these MSME require really a financial assistance. All different reports which are there in literature, they highlighted that the maximum problem is faced by MSME, or major problem which is faced by the MSME was that financial assistance, because they don't have credit liquidity, number one, and second, they don't have credit capacity also. So it was very necessary that you, as you know, all know, that whenever they approach to any bank, banks require some kind or the other collateral. Okay. And these MSME are operating their businesses at such a low level that they cannot have any collateral to keep in terms of whatever the credit is being disbursed. And second thing, what is being seen, that these banks were very reluctant, especially disbursing their finance to this MSME. So that's why government has brought this special financial package, that it will give up to 3 lakh collateral free assistant immediately, without any paperwork, without any collateral, they will be giving it. And at the same time, if any MSME fails in repayment of this loan, then the government has given this credit guarantee, which is known as sovereign credit guarantee. And this sovereign credit guarantee basically first introduced in Singapore during the pandemic time, where Singapore government has said that if you remember that during COVID period, our Prime Minister Mr. Modi have announced that at least all the, whether they are small enterprises or large enterprises, they must give salaries to their employees of near about 2 months. Similarly, these MSME has also disbursed their salary, and when economic activities started resuming, at that time they did not have any working capital. So government of Singapore basically have especially brought one special package, and it has generated sovereign bonds, that they have, what they have done, they have taken up the balance sheets of these company, and whatever amount of in the form of salary it has been disbursed, the same amount is being transmitted in the form of direct benefit transfers in the accounts of the MSME. On the same ground, Indian government has also introduced these sovereign credit guarantee scheme, that you take up the credit, and if at all anybody fails, then obviously it is the government duty to support that particular MSME and return the credit which is being taken by the MSME. And these two special financial packages has really worked, because whatever V-shaped recovery we are expecting, basically their MSME has lot of role for playing as far as production is concerned or supply chain is concerned. So obviously these two policies has really helped MSME to overcome. Another you know package it has given, that as I said, that now government of India is understanding that MSME can become one of the base tool for import substitution. So 1700 crore export guarantee schemes were launched, where all those MSME who are in the export business or who are exporting their products to different countries, they should not have any financial crunch. They can easily, like if their import money blocks or anything, if they require any help, immediately this 1700 credit is being disbursed, right? Not only this, the government has also redefined earlier the definition which we used to you know um, give for the MSME was based on investments, and now it has changed over to the turnover. Now because they say, since MSMEs do not keep their proper records of their production, their exports, and all other things, so they don't prepare balance sheet because they operate at a very tiny level. So now from investment point it has changed to turnover point, and any industry or any particular unit who is having turnover up to 5 crore will be considered as micro. Who is having 5 crore to 75 crore is small, and over 75 crore to 250 crore will be considered as medium. So what has happened, why this change has happened? Number one, that all those industries which were not first falling in this particular category, and due to this definition, they were lacking or they were not eligible for getting any financial help from the government. Now they are getting all type of helps, and for them the moment all these industries they get Udyog Aadhar registration, from that moment they get all kind of financial helps, technical assistance. At the same time, not only this, but also different type of other helps which is used to were not available earlier for the MSME. So these all efforts of the government has clearly contributed positively in the sustainment of the MSME and to regulate their economic activity. And if you talk about Indore also, you can see that even in Indore, okay, recently in this budget, when delegate of all businessmen, especially those who are in MSME, they met the finance minister of Madhya Pradesh, and they have requested for the help. Okay, there it was assured to them that World Bank will help all old जितने भी पुराने उद्योग हैं, ठीक है ना, all old industries will be now supported by World Bank, and World Bank will establish a 10 kilowatt solar system. As you all know that earlier even the MSME used to face lot of electricity problem, especially in rural area, because they are very tiny. and they depend upon the electricity supply of the government. They don't have capacity to install their own solar system. So basically now World Bank has taken up, and they are going to install solar plant for them. For that, the so that the power problem can be solved, and each solar plant will make 10 kilowatt of capacity. Their installed capacity will be 10 kilowatt, and whatever electricity will be generated through this, it can be utilized. That means the power credits, just like carbon credits, now power credit will be created by all tiny industries in rural area with the help of World Bank. So this is another significant development or significant help which will be available for MSME, so that their power cut supply, because you know that whenever there is a power cut, the entire production goes lost, and these are very tiny, so they cannot revive as fast as power cuts takes place, right? So basically this can also be helpful. Then other benefits which they are going to give, single window system, then vertical permission for not only expanding the capacity, or even the expanding the marketing facilities and expanding the various turnover capacity, but also different procedural permissions will also be in vertical size. And other than this, especially in Indore area, Malwa chambers of commerce or other MSME offices, they are going to help these MSMEs in this area by opening up helpline facility, artificial intelligence and data analytics facility, so that these MSMEs can basically develop themselves not only technologically, but also their procedural problems can be resolved, right? Presently, if you see what is the status in all over India, a common MSME, uh, lot of informalization is there, and this is the severe part, because if we want to make MSME as a Atmanirbhar Bharat, they not only should register themselves, but also they can be one of the major contributor in expansion of the tax base. Okay, so their formalization is very important. That means how you can formalize them by registering them. That's why government is now asking all MSME, may it be micro industry or small industries or medium are there under they are covered under Udyog Aadhar, but all tiny industries, especially those who are established in rural areas, now the government is expanding this Udyog Aadhar registration up to rural area, so that not only the timely help can be given, timely financial help and technical help can be given, but also the informalization process can be reduced. That means the companies can become formal. Another problem which MSMEs are facing, that is lack of demand. Lack of demand because they don't produce quality product. Their products are not very attractive, and at the same time they don't have any proper marketing channel. So now government is also trying to help them by creating lot many hearts. Okay, and in Indore also you can see that there are in all zones. If you divide Indore in 4 zones, northeast, southwest, in each part, you have one place where such kind of Grameen hearts are always being displayed, and there they invite all these rural artisans to bring and display their products. Okay, and this trend is increasing, and lot many basically the tie-ups are taking places. Lot many many companies, those who are in service industries, basically they are coming in the form of startups. Okay, and they are like Javik Setu is one of the startup, if you can remember. that is basically Javik Setu is basically purchasing all kind of organic products from rural areas and making it or packaging it in attractive form and then selling it into the urban area. So such kind of many startups are coming in the MSMEs, okay, and they are really bringing the rural product, or they are becoming the channel to bring rural product up to urban area. Then another problem which is faced usually still MSMEs are facing are lack of financing. Just give me 1 minute, one sec. I'm sorry, there was a bell rang. So basically lack of financing. Okay, this lack of financing was mainly, again reports have pointed out that there are near about 77% of the MSMEs which need emergency fund. Emergency fund, that means they are suffering from working capital basically to run their day-to-day business. They don't have that much capacity. On the other hand side, if you say that the government is providing them credit, okay, on one time, they don't require credit for one time, they require credit for regulation of the credit, that whenever they want finance, it should be given to them. But and that's why they are saying, but whatever credit is being given, okay, out of that, since these MSME do not have that much capacity, so only whatever financial package is being announced by the government, only 1/3 loan is being disbursed, or credit picking, you can say, only 1/3 has taken place. On nearly 15% of the total credit is being disbursed by the bank or other credit financial help. When researchers have gone more deeper into this and tried to understand what are the reasons, they have found that basically, especially the MSMEs in rural area do not have capacity to take loan. Okay, even if the government is giving collateral free loan to them, but even then they are reluctant in taking any kind of such kind of loan because of procedural and a lot of paperwork is there. So now again government is going for understanding this particular problem. They are now moving towards the paperless work, okay, or direct benefit transfers to them. uh, One major problem which is facing by another MSMEs is basically the high cost of product. Okay, it is very urgent need that these MSMEs should be divided into various cluster, and according to the need of every cluster, the overall packages, may it be technological, may it be data, may it be any financial help, or may it be procedural help, okay, all type of, or may it be technical help, all types of help should be provided to these MSME. And if you divide them according to their product in different clusters, then it will not only help them to mutually share their experiences, but also with the mutual collaboration and contribution, they will be able to develop as a whole. Okay, and when you develop a cluster, all type of facilities you can provide at one doorstep itself. So that will not only help them to lower their cost, but also help them to basically it will save their time in communication and all. At the same time, when you develop any particular cluster, you don't have to be bothered about where you are going to sell your product. Usually the traders, they approach to these clusters for purchasing of the product. So if you on the product based, if you develop this kind of clusters, then it will help MSMEs to expand their business. Another problem which MSME is facing is basically a refund of GST, especially from the government. And you know that, like Madhya Pradesh Audyogik Vikas Kendra, or if you talk Madhya Pradesh Laghu Vikas Kendra, all government offices, they have to purchase from GEM products, and all MSMEs products are registered in GEM. So basically what happens that when these government institutions, or rather you can say the government offices and government institutions are the major purchaser of the product of MSME, right? May it be mandatory or maybe it be willingness, whatever, right? But thing is that what happens that these small MSMEs, they supply their products to these government institutions, but delay in payments, and also the refund of difference which is there in the GST. Say, you know the procedure of GST, that there is a state GST, that interstate GST, and central GST. So basically, when from central GST to state GST, fund has to be transferred, and they lie mainly of the MSME. So that delay is basically becomes the major problem for financial burden of this MSME. So because they have to immediately disburse the charge of vendor bills, etc. And also if any problem occurs of the finance, and their money is blocked with some or the other government institution, it becomes very difficult for them to get it back. Again then, and it also creates a disruption in supply, the smooth supply chain in the product, right? Then another effort which government has made, so-called effort government has made to bring MSME, that it has done labor reforms. But if you go into deeper of the labor reforms, you will find that these labor reforms are basically become curse for the especially laborers. Okay, employer is benefited, but employee is becoming a really different task. Now the government has said that any particular unit who is employing more than 10 people, then earlier their registration was mandatory, and their all type of social security was mandatory. But since government has brought a nationwide social security system, so now they said that it is not mandatory for the employee to have social securities if they deploy more than 10 people in the firm. And this particular kind of labor reforms is really you know uh, creating a real problem, especially for laborers. Now laborers, this is also not only creating the problem of labor availability with the MSME, but labor themselves are becoming reluctant in to work in these industries. Why? Because since there is no social security, especially security for continuous employment. Uh, and another nature of contract labor is emerging, and that is also creating a lot of problem with these MSME. So on one side, MSME is facing severe labor problem, and on other side, laborers are facing severe social security problem, and that will be going to create in future, that will be going to create a lot of further problem for these MSMEs. So now, if you are saying that, okay, so what are the ways, or how you can, or what are the solution, basically, if you talk about that, how to cure all these problems, because without curing these problems, obviously we cannot think that MSME will survive on their own, or MSME, the growth of MSME will grow on their own, and MSME can become the base for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, so what we should do or what we should basically promote ourselves to make MSME as a really vocal for local. Okay. Again, this particular buzzword has been introduced at the time of pandemic. The first thing that you should take all research institutions, okay, they should be linked with the academic fraternity to the MSMEs. And basically, they should both mutually work for each other. MSME should bring the problems to the various universities surrounding around, may it be private, may it be, government, okay, and all major universities should undertake the research, and research not only for how product quality can be improved, how supply chain can improve, but also ease of doing business. The various procedures, various methods should be evolved through research in order to solve the problem of MSME, that when they are having any loss of output, or whenever they are facing any employment problem or other bottlenecks, how that can be resolved. Okay, so all those policies should, or strategies should be made through research, which can support MSME in real making Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is what I feel. Then second thing, it is not only announcing various type of financial packages, but also equally distribute your financial packages. Because if you have announced and further you are not taking any further steps, that the financial help should reach up, or whether is really financial help is reaching to the MSME or not. Because as I said, that only 15%, whatever economic help that has been announced at the time of COVID, only 15% of that entire help is being reached to MSME, or MSME were themselves were reluctant in taking such kind of credit help. So the government has to think before relying on them, that the distribution of all financial help should be not only timely, but it should be equally divided among the MSME. It should reach up to the MSME, so that they should not face any kind of financial problem. Even the credit guarantee scheme, which has been announced by the government, should be in actual sense be implemented properly, right? Because if a MSME has taken up a credit, and later on if it suffers a loss, and later on there is no effort from the government, then obviously slowly MSME will be not be able to sustain in the future. Okay. And as one major point which I want to highlight, that it is really a surprise to note that the credit guarantees basically in the book of accounts of the government is shown as a departmental expenses. That should not be there, because obviously this is a common assumption that whenever departmental expenses increases, the support given to the department is being reduced. So if such thing is happening, that financial help is being considered as a departmental expenses, obviously people will the MSME will not be going to take that. Then better planning and cash to cash cycle has to be maintained. The MSME has to be taught that how they can maintain their cash to cash cycle. And for this cash to cash cycle, that means there should be no cash problem arise in front of the MSME. They should be taught, the training program should be organized from the government, so that which can train MSMEs that how to maintain your cash balance. At least up to 3 months of the cash balance should be maintained. Okay. And this can come only by doing better planning. So not only don't simply give credit help or financial help only, but also give training in the form of how to make better planning, and how to keep their cash to cash cycle intact. That is the need of the hour. Then another way is building their brand image, especially in foreign. If you when you we usually compare ourselves with the Chinese products, okay, and why have you ever thought that why China has captured before pandemic, why China has captured the entire world market due to two reasons. Their products were not only attractive but cheap also. May it be, I'm not talking about the quality, but quality wise they were have no quality at all. Their quality was worse, but still if you talk about the cost wise, they were very cost effective. uh, and also at the same time, they have developed their brand images basically, especially if you see in mobile technology, mi, okay, uh, you will not see and if you compare vivo Vivo and mi with the say any Indian brand, say Lenovo or any other brand, so you will find that basically the brand image of mi and Vivo is much greater as compared to any other Indian brand. So it is very important that the products of the MSME should or there should be the government should give them basically a platform where or can evolve such kind of measures where these MSME can build their brand image. A complete marketing channel has to be evolved where the products of MSME can be converted into brand image, because this is the era of brand image. If you are able to reach digitally to the world, obviously you are going to sell. Although now new startups are doing that, and they are doing lot of technological transformation and innovation, and they are reaching out. That's why you can during pandemic also we whatever the product except for 2 months of initial March and April, from May we could able to get all those what we needed, okay. So since all those who are in the digital platform, they could sell easily. Similarly, so there should be for MSME products also, there should be a digital platform has to be evolved where all these MSME can make a grouping according to the product wise or according to the cluster wise, and they can uh, show their or they can do their products, um, uh, convert their products into digital forms, and then they can supply, okay. So digital market has to be involved. Then it is very important to provide them direct benefit transfers. On the basis of as there is a scheme of PM Kisan Yojana, okay, for agriculture sector. And what is the scheme like that? Any agriculture person or any farmer, he has 6,000 rupees per month direct benefit transfers. Same in the on the same pattern, if government provides credit instead of giving one time credit scheme, if it can divide that particular credit scheme into say month wise or say 3 months quarter wise, and can provide these MSME and can solve their working capital problem by direct benefits, it will give them ease of liquidity, okay, and it will solve their liquidity problem also. And if they have liquidity, obviously they are going to work further for the building brand image or supplying their product and reaching out to more people, okay. Then it is also very important that for MSME product especially, you should understand before producing them, you should do a customer survey and try to understand the circumstantial need with the consumers, that what kind of product is actually demanded, and what is being produced by the MSME. So if that particular gap can be identified, what customer is requiring and what these MSMEs are producing. So the production of the MSME should be according to the consumer need, which is not prevailing right now, right? Now MSMEs are producing and they are not bothering where this particular product and who will purchase. Okay, but instead of this, if we evolve one marketing strategy or one expansion strategy for MSME, that the product has to be produced according to the customer need, and not only customer need but also according to the circumstantial need. Circumstantial need that during pandemic we have seen when people required this mask, face mask. It was the MSME who started manufacturing very fast. Okay, especially in rural area, the self-help groups have started manufacturing mask in large number of quantity, and there were no problem of any supply crunch as far as this thing. Similarly, the sanitizers, similarly other healthcare products. So same on the same pattern, that was circumstantial need. Same pattern, if we can go for a survey on of the circumstantial need of the people, then obviously the MSME will be going to benefit. In all, if I talk that the now if at all we are thinking that MSME should become a real contributor to Atmanirbhar Bharat, the need is that they have to be improved. Their product have to be unique. It should be attractive. It should be stylish. Just like a Fab India also. Okay, Fab India has converted themselves. It was earlier, it was MSME only. Okay, they have converted and they have built their brand image. Similarly, if you talk about the Biba also, it has started its product from a very low level, and later on it has developed up to this thing. So I'm not saying that MSMEs do not have capacity to become a proper contributor for this sustained economic growth or making Atmanirbhar Bharat. It can become a strong contributor, but if it has to revive itself, it has to renovate itself, and it has to resume itself again, right? Uh, uh, and also at the same time, their while paying salaries or by as far as job security, if labor has to be assured. Okay, if labor will be assured, his obviously he is going to contribute through his productivity and through his skills more if he's secured, having secured job, and contribute into the MSME growth only. So basically all these things has to be taken care of when we are thinking that can MSME become a role model, or can MSME become a real engine for making Atmanirbhar Bharat. Yes, it has the potential, but that potential has to be channelized. That potential has to be first realized and then channelized, and then whatever financial help or technical help or other type of efforts you are uh, uh, trying to give to the MSME, it should be given on time basis. Time is very important. Okay, because if the timely help will be given, then only we can think of that the survival and the revival of the MSME. Otherwise, not. So, with this, I end my note, and house is open for the further question if or any participants are having any questions.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom and sharing your valuable views with us. I hope this session was very much helpful for all our participants. Now we can take few questions from our viewers. Ma'am, I have received some questions. Few of them are:
Yes.
are our MSCs competent at global forum?
Not in present shape. Few of them are there. Those who are basically operating in medium industries, in the form of medium industries. but they need to revive. As I said, that they really need to revive, especially the product development has to be done. Their product, few cottage industries, like if you talk about, say, Jaipur cotton, or if you talk about Maheshwari sari, if they are, to some extent, they have developed their self, they have made the cooperative society, and through that cooperative society they are trying to expand themselves. But if most of the, especially micro units, are not in position basically right now to become a global brand.
Now, second question, how Atmanirbhar Abhiyan could be helpful for rural India?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How Atmanirbhar Abhiyan could be helpful for rural India?
Yes, it will be very helpful if it is implemented properly. The base objective of Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, basically Atmanirbhar, is mainly to support rural industries for their not only expansion, but for also for their quality production. Now, many of the tie-ups, especially from FDIs, are coming into rural area, and they are trying to set up their industries there, and they are going to help these rural industries to sustain, especially in the solar area. If you talk about, as I've explained you also, a lot of solar energy companies are coming up, especially in rural area, to meet out the solar requirement of this rural area. And once that is done, I think all cottage industry, which is the major problem, is the electricity there, even if, and they will have this help, that the electricity supply will be on continuous basis, and they could able to not only sustain their production but also retain in there also. So yes, do Atmanirbhar Bharat is really a nice initiative, but it should be effectively implemented.
Yes, ma'am. Look like we have answered all of your questions. Is there anything else you want to like to mention, ma'am?
From my side, if participants are having question, I can take up the question.
Okay, ma'am. Now, finally, I request our HOD Commerce, Dr. Haldaram Sharma, sir, to sum up the session and deliver vote of thanks. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Syed. I, Dr. Haldar Sharma, on behalf of Department of Commerce, Medicaid University, would like to thank our guest lecture speaker, Dr. Rekha Acharya, for enlightening us with her knowledge. It gave deep insight into the topic and also revealed many interesting facts. I also would like thanks to our Honorable VC sir that he has allowed to us to conduct such kind of the interesting guest lecture for our students. In the continuation, I also would like to thank co-convener Dr. Syed Sajid, organization committee, Dr. Surikant Soni and Ms. Arpita Mantri, my colleagues and my dear students. Thanks to all, many thanks.
I extend my sincere thanks to VC sir and all other technical team staff, and the head of the department, Dr. Haldar Sharma, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to deliver my views. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you so much, everyone, for being a part of the session. Wish you all great day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Shall I leave now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can.
Yes, thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to you, sir.